So today we're gonna make red snapper. Because last week when I posted pictures of the food I was making for my boyfriend for his birthday, I received so many questions around the fish that I was like, oh, it only makes sense for me to do that for my first episode, right? So grab your ingredients and let's get into it. Okay, so all my ingredients are ready. This is what we're gonna do first. In a bowl, I am going to put 5 habanero peppers, so these peppers. You can find them at any grocery store. Honestly, I got mine from ShopRite, but you can also find them at Trader Joe's, at your local grocery shop. I'm using 5 because my tolerance for hot, spicy food is really high. If you really don't like spicy food, then I would say start with 1. But mine were already washed, so I put them in the bowl. But what you want to do is you want to remove this part, right? You want to remove it, and you want to make sure you wash it completely, especially the top, because that's where the dirt stays. Okay, so now that that's done, we're going to go to the mince. Again, my mince has already been washed. Because it's a 5-pound fish, I'm going to use 2 stems. I'm not removing the leaves individually. No, I'm just going to put it in my bowl. And now time for my onion. I'm going to chop it in 2. So now that I've removed the outside and cut the ends, I am going to go wash it and cut it in pieces. Because we're going to blend these, it doesn't matter how you chop your onions. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it in 4 parts. Alright, so again, cut in 4. And I'm just going to put it in my bowl. And now I'm going to use my hands. What is this called? A standing blender, right?
Hand blender?
Thank you. I know how to cook. I don't know the name of things. I'm gonna blend this. Remove the fish. There you go. And great. So now that I've blended my onion habanero and mint, I am going to add the ginger, salt, garlic, and olive oil. If your fish is not as big as mine, you should definitely cut the seasoning and the ingredients by 2. So what I mean is, instead of using half an onion, maybe you should use a quarter. Instead of using the 2 stems of mint, you should use 1. Unless you really want that minty flavor. But if not, just cut the ingredients and the seasoning in 2. Adding 1 tablespoon of ginger. And I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of garlic. I, again, love garlic and ginger. Before I add my oil to the mix, I'm going to add my salt. And I'm also going to put 1 tablespoon of... If you have a smaller fish, then cut the measurements in 2. There you go. And last but not least, I'm going to pour in 1 tablespoon of olive oil. There you go. And then what? So I'm just gonna go ahead. You can at this point also use the hand blender to mix it, but I just like doing it this way. It's easier. It's, faster, I think. All right. And once this is done, before you put it on your fish, make sure you taste it, okay? Okay. Okay, so now that my fish marinade is ready, I'm going to take one of these pans, like any pan that can honestly go in the oven is fine. I'm going to put down 1... I'm going to put down a layer of foil. The only reason why I'm putting down the foil is because this foil is non-stick. So when I'm done with my fish, it's not gonna like, while you're cooking, make sure that you're cleaning your hands regularly, because as you can see, I use my hands to make this flat, and if my hands were not clean, then that means I can't put the fish here because people are gonna eat. That's nasty. So next step is I'm gonna put some olive oil on it. I always put a coat of oil when I am broiling. Even though it says non-stick, I'm still gonna put my coat of oil. Alright, now that my foil sheet is well oiled, I am going to take the fish and I am going to transfer it here. And I'm putting it diagonally just because, again, it's a very big fish. If you have any questions on how to clean your fish, let me know and I'll do a quick video on how I clean my fish. I'm going to put some openings here. Oh, sorry, my fish is moving. My fish is trying to run away from me. So yeah, I'm going to put some openings here and here. I'm going to show you better, but the reason why I'm doing these is because, one, to put the seasoning so it can really enter every part of the fish, and two, because when I'm serving the fish, it's going to be easier for me to cook. So let's do this, and I'm going to do the same thing on both sides. Alright, so you can clearly see the marks, right? I can put my finger in it. Again, very important for you to keep your fingers clean. It's time to season the fish. I'm just going to use my measuring spoon to just scoop some on it. It doesn't have to be perfect, but then now with my hand, I'm going to put it all over. So you want to make sure, I eat the head of the fish, so I'm going to make sure everything is seasoned. I'm gonna open the head and I'll show you on when I flip it, but again, I'm gonna make sure everything is seasoned. Put some seasoning in there. Make sure that there is a lot of seasoning in the opening. Yep, there you go. Now I'm going to flip my chicken. Sorry, I'm going to flip my fish, and you see inside here? Oh, you see how beautiful that is? I'm gonna just put like maybe 1 and 2 spoons of marinade, and I'm gonna just make sure it gets everywhere. Making sure it gets everywhere. And as I mentioned before, I'm opening like the head. So this was what I was doing, right? And I'm going to put some here, of course, on top. But also make sure it gets everywhere, so that my fish is nicely seasoned, and like whatever part you decide to eat is gonna be very, very, very tasty. So now that our fish is nice and seasoned, I'm gonna put it in the fridge for a minimum of 30 minutes. 30 minutes should be the minimum, so you can allow the seasoning to work its way through the fish, and then broil it. I'll show you guys how I broil it. This time around, I'm going to do it differently because my fish is much larger. Normally, the fish that I use is about half of this. And so I broil it on one side and it gets nice and golden, and I flip it and broil it on the other side. Because this is bigger and I'm worried about like it falling apart, I'm going to make sure that I'm just going to broil it on one side. Of course, the whole fish is going to cook, but I'm going to broil it just on one side, and I'll leave it in the oven for a little longer. this is the end of the video. I hope you like it. I hope you try this at home. Let me know in the comment if you try it or how you cook your fish. And until next time, bye guys.